Hi, Emma. Do you have a minute to chat? I wanted to talk to you about Sarah's farewell party on Friday.
Hi, David. Of course. I am glad you brought it up. I know we are in charge of getting the cake, and we should probably make a plan.
Exactly. It is a big responsibility. I want to make sure we get a really nice cake. Sarah has been a wonderful colleague for so many years. She deserves a great send-off.
I completely agree. The cake is often the centerpiece of an office party. It is what everyone gathers around, so we want it to be special.
My plan was to just go to the bakery after work and pick something. Is that too simple?
That is a good start, but buying a cake for a large group of people requires a little bit of planning first. If we just show up at the bakery, we might make a bad choice.
You are right. I did not think about that. I might choose a cake that is too small, or a flavor that nobody likes.
Precisely. So, before we even think about going to the store, let's sit down for a few minutes and figure out the details. The first two things we need to decide on are the budget and the size.
Okay, planning is a good idea. Let's start with the budget. How much money can we spend on this cake?
Well, everyone in the department contributed $5 to the party fund. There are 20 people in our department, so that gives us a total budget of $100 for everything.
And we also have to buy a card and some decorations, right?
Correct. The decorations and the card will probably cost about $20. So that leaves us with a maximum budget of $80 for the cake.
$80. That sounds like a good amount of money. It should be enough for a very nice cake.
I think so too. Now, for the second point, the size. How many people are we expecting at the party?
It is our whole department, so that is 20 people, plus our main manager, and the head of the company said they would stop by, so 22 people.
Okay. We should also plan for a few extra slices, just in case. Some people might want a second piece, so we should probably get a cake that serves about 25 people. When we are at the bakery, we can ask, which cake size do you recommend for 25 servings? A serving is another word for a portion or a slice.
Budget, $80. Size, a cake for 25 people. This is great. We are very organized. What is the next thing we need to think about?
The next, and maybe the most fun part, is the flavor. What kind of cake should we get?
I love chocolate cake. Chocolate with more chocolate on top. That is always my choice.
I love chocolate cake too, but we are not buying the cake for us. Who is the most important person to consider?
You are right. We are buying the cake for Sarah. We should choose a flavor that she will love.
Exactly. It is her farewell party, so her preference is the most important. Do you know what her favorite kind of cake is?
That is a good question. I think I remember her saying once that she loves anything with fruit. She especially loves strawberries.
Perfect. So maybe a a strawberry shortcake. Or a vanilla cake with fresh berries would be a great choice. Now for a very serious and important question: allergies. We need to think about food allergies.
I did not even think of that. Someone in our office has a very serious nut allergy, right?
Yes, Mark in accounting has a severe peanut allergy. We absolutely must make sure that the cake we buy has not been made with any nuts and that it has not even touched any nuts. This is a very serious safety issue.
Okay, Emma. We are here at the Sweet Spot Bakery. It smells so good in here. Look at all these beautiful cakes in the display case.
It is a bit overwhelming, is it not? There are so many choices. Let's look at the different types they have.
That big rectangular one looks good. It seems like it would be easy to cut for a lot of people.
That is called a sheet cake. You are right. They are very practical for office parties. They are simple and can serve a large number of people.
What about that tall, round one with all the different layers?
That is a layer cake. They are very beautiful and impressive to look at. They often have different fillings between the layers, like jam or cream.
I also see some cheesecakes and some fruit tarts. A fruit tart might be a good option, since we know Sarah likes fruit.
That is a great idea. A fruit tart is a bit lighter and less sweet than a traditional cake. It could be a nice, refreshing choice.
I am not sure what to choose. The layer cake looks the most special, but the sheet cake is more practical. And the fruit tart fits her preference.
This is a difficult decision. Let's ask the expert for some help. Let's talk to the person working behind the counter.
Okay, let's ask for help. What is the best way to start the conversation with the baker?
We can just start with a simple, friendly greeting. We can say, "Hello, your cakes all look so wonderful." A small compliment is always a nice way to begin.
Good idea. And then we should explain our situation, right?
Yes, we should give her all the important information we have already planned. We should tell her the occasion, the number of people, our flavor preference, and our budget.
So I can say, we are buying a cake for a colleague's farewell party. We need something that will serve about 25 people.
That is a perfect start. Then you can mention the flavor and the budget. You could add, "Our colleague really likes fruit flavors, and our budget is around $80.
And then what? Do we just wait for her to suggest something?
We can be a little more direct. The best thing to do is to ask for her professional opinion. You can ask a question like, "What would you recommend?" Or, "What are your most popular cakes for an office party?" The baker makes these cakes every day, so she will know which ones are the most liked.
Let's practice. I will be the customer. You be the baker. Hello. Your cakes all look so wonderful.
Thank you so much. How can I help you today?
We are looking for a cake for a colleague's farewell party. We need something that serves about 25 people. Our colleague really likes fruit, and our budget is about $80. What would you recommend?
For a party of that size, I would recommend our celebration sheet cake. We can do it in a vanilla sponge with a strawberry mousse filling. It is very popular and it will be $75.
Okay, that sounds really good. Now is when I should ask some follow-up questions, right?
Yes, exactly. And the most important follow-up question for us is about the allergies.
Right. I would say, that sounds perfect. I just have one very important question. Does the cake or the mousse contain any nuts? We have a colleague with a severe nut allergy.
That is the perfect way to ask. It is clear and it shows that it is a serious issue. You could also ask, is it prepared in a nut-free environment to be extra safe?
We have asked the baker all of our questions. She has confirmed that the vanilla cake with strawberry mousse is completely nut-free. I think we have found our cake.
I think so too. It sounds delicious. It is the right size, and it is within our budget. There is just one last thing we should do to make it extra special for Sarah.
What is that?
We should get a message written on top of the cake. This is called an inscription.
An inscription. That is a great idea. It will make it a truly personal cake for her party. What should we ask them to write?
It should be something short and sweet. A very common message for a farewell party is, "Good luck, Sarah," or "Best of luck, Sarah."
I like those. What about, "We will miss you, Sarah"? Is that too sad?
I think that is a very kind and heartfelt message. It is not too sad at all. Let's go with that one. When you ask the baker, you need to be very clear. You can say, "Could you please write an inscription on the cake for us?" And then you tell them the exact words. You should also spell out the name to avoid any mistakes.
Okay, so I will go to the baker and say, "We have decided on the vanilla sheet cake with strawberry mousse. And could you please write, 'We will miss you, Sarah,' on top?" The name is spelled Sarah.
Perfect. She will then confirm the final price with you and prepare the cake. It might take her 10 or 15 minutes to write the inscription neatly.
The total price is $75, which is $5 under our budget. That is great.
It is. Now, about the payment. We are using the money from the department's party fund. So what do you need to remember to get?
I need to remember to get a receipt. I will have to give the receipt to the office administrator to show how much we spent.
Exactly. When you pay, you can just say, "Could I please have a receipt?" Or if it is a larger, more formal company, you might need to ask for an invoice. But for a simple bakery purchase, a receipt is all you need.
I will make sure to put the receipt in a safe place. I do not want to lose it.
A good tip is to take a picture of the receipt with your phone as soon as you get it. That way, you always have a digital copy as a backup.
The baker has finished the inscription. The cake looks amazing. It is in a very large flat box.
It looks wonderful. Now we just have to solve the final logistical problem.
What is that?
we have to get this big, beautiful cake back to our office in one piece. We need to be very careful during transportation.
I did not think about that. This box is quite big. I am not sure it will be easy to carry on the bus.
It will be very difficult on the bus. I think it would be better to take a taxi. We can put the cake flat on the back seat, and it will be much safer. The extra money for the taxi will be worth it.
You are right. Let's take a taxi. And when we get back to the office, what should we do with the cake? The party is not for another 3 hours.
The cake has a strawberry mousse filling, which is made with cream. That means we need to keep it cold. We should put it in the refrigerator in the office kitchen as soon as we get back.
So, transport it carefully and store it in the fridge. These are very important final steps.
We made it! The cake is safely back at the office and it is in the refrigerator. I think our mission is a success.
It is. I think Sarah is going to be so happy. We chose a flavor she loves, and the personal message on top is a really nice touch.
I learned so much about the process of buying a cake. It is much more than just choosing the one that looks the prettiest.
It is. Let's review the steps. What is the first thing you should always do?
You should plan ahead. You need to know your budget, the number of people you need to serve, and any important flavor preferences or allergens.
Perfect. And what should you do when you are at the bakery?
You should look at the different types of cakes, but most importantly, you should ask the baker for a recommendation. And you should ask specific questions, especially about allergens.
Excellent. And what are the final touches?
You can get a personalized inscription, and you need to remember to get a receipt and to think about how you will transport and store the cake safely. I feel very prepared to buy a cake for any occasion now.
You should. You did a great job. Now, all that is left to do is to enjoy the party and eat a slice of that delicious cake.